the Mo Salah situation might have gotten out of hand. I made a video, a reaction video, I think it was day first, day immediately after the issue happened. The next morning, I made a reaction video and I spoke about how, even though I understood what Salah was saying, he played himself onto the bench. All well and good. But in the 48 hours since then, everything has gone downhill from that point, and it has become something of a personal attack. It has become something that has gone away from football. I'm seeing people talking about that, trying to downplay the achievements of Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah, like, is it not the same Mohamed Salah? Like, you can say Mohamed Salah is wrong without trying to downplay him. Once again, this is not a player trying to force his way out of the club. I've pulled up his full statement here so that I don't miss anything. So Mohamed Salah complained about being on the bench for 90 minutes, which is all well and good. You are playing against Leeds United. Mohamed Salah can't get 20 minutes on the pitch or what? He cannot get 10, 15 minutes on the pitch to play against Leeds United. You were up 3-2. You were up 3-2 and you couldn't bring on Mohamed Salah. Like, let's be real here. Like, even though Mohamed Salah was playing badly, he deserves 20 minutes. Come on, it's Mohamed Salah. But let's even ignore that part. This is a player that is angry because he wants to play for the club. He said it in a statement. I'm sitting on the bench for 90 minutes, third time on the bench, and I think for the first time in my career, I'm very, very disappointed. I have done so much for this club down the years, and especially last season. Now, in my video, I said Mohamed Salah should not think of the things that he have done in the past as a reason to restart now, because football is a game with short memory, or how do we say it safe? Football has short memory. You understand what I mean? Football has short memory. So he should not be banking on the things he has done in the past to be the reason for him to be on the pitch. All well and good. Now, you can see I'm starting off with all the things that Mohamed Salah did wrong. All this doesn't discount from the things that he has done. And you see where I'm driving to when I start talking about people like Wayne Rooney and what's this guy's name? Carragher. When we get there, you will understand. So the next thing he said was, I got a lot of promises in the summer. I said many times that I had a good relationship with the manager, and all of a sudden we don't have any relationship. I don't know why, but it seems to me how I see it that someone doesn't want me in the club. Now, the peculiar thing about this is, I said it in that video. As a coach, if you are going to drop a player, especially when it's a player like Mohamed Salah, the stature of Mohamed Salah, of what Mohamed Salah has achieved in football, you have to explain to him that this is why I'm dropping you. Not just to satisfy the player's thinking, not just to satisfy the player. It's so that the player can know what he needs to do better so that he can get on the pitch. If you are benching a player because he's not doing well on the training pitch, you tell him, this is why I'm benching you. So the player knows that, okay, I have to fix my training. You are not scoring on the pitch. Okay, I have to start producing more on the pitch. You are not defending for us and it's affecting us, which is why I think he was benched. He would understand that, okay, you want me to track back more, you want me to defend more. You didn't tell the player anything. You didn't communicate anything with the player, according to what Mohamed Salah said. And I'm inclined to believe him because even though Arne Slot said he talked to him 2 times before the Leeds United game, he said something in his press conference. He said he talked to Mohamed Salah. He said he talks to Mohamed Salah, but he didn't sit down and talk to him. Like, they didn't have a conversation. He just told him, "You are not going to enter with us." Bro, why don't you have that conversation? The player was at the training ground the day before. Why is this thing? Bro, I don't know what's making noise in my laptop. You have to discuss these things. When you let a wound fester, it becomes worse than before. And this whole situation with Liverpool is just like a wound. You have to tackle it head on. You have to talk about it straight. Mohamed Salah is just not any other player. Like, I get it. At a slot, you won a trophy for Liverpool. But do you know how many trophies Mohamed Salah has won for Liverpool? Like, these are the things that people are not considering. Like, yes, all well and good, Salah is wrong. But Salah is just not another player. Even though he's wrong, we all know football players are very, very delusional. One of the greatest footballers in the history of football, he did even worse than what Salah did. And people still supported him. So we need to Like, we need to be very, very lenient with Salah. Because even though he came out at this outburst, the reason he had this outburst is basically because he wants to play. He said it in the interview. I love Liverpool. I want to be on the pitch. Like, that's the reason he's angry. This is not angry. This is not a player trying to force himself out of it. And we are treating him as if he killed somebody. Before I move to the Carragher part, there's one more thing I want to add. Salah said, I'm sorry, everybody in a team is not in his form yet. I'm the one that's asked to defend himself now. Like, look at the things that these guys say. I feel like everybody heard what Salah said. Everybody heard the bombshell. But nobody really listened to what he was saying. He's talking about how there's a lot of people that are out of form, and it's very glaring to see almost every player in the Liverpool team has played bad at some points this season. But somehow, Salah is the scapegoat. Salah is the one that gets to sit on the bench for 3 straight games, not getting one single minute against Leeds United, newly promoted Leeds United. You're not playing against Barcelona. You're not playing against Real Madrid. You're playing against Leeds United. You can't get Mohamed Salah 10 minutes against Leeds United. And this is like part of why this guy is angry. And once again, it was wrong in the approach that he took, but is what he's calling for. Is it that bad to ask for to get game minutes as Mohamed Salah? Let's go to the Carragher parts. So I was thinking of embedding the video before, but I don't want super sports to come for me. I'm just a young African boy trying to feed his family. I don't want them to come for me. So I watched the whole rant all over again, and I noted down the things I was going to talk about. The whole 8 minutes rant just proved Salah right. Everything just proved Salah right. Let's start from the beginning. He said it was choreographed by Salah and his agents. He referenced last season that Salah made a whole show when he just scored, he played well, then he requested for a contract. 2 minutes later, you used your mouth to say Salah deserves to ask for a contract. So why is that something you are bringing up? What point are you trying to make? Once again, I'm going to reiterate, this is a player that is trying to stay at the club. He's not trying to leave. He's just trying to leave. Like, you are slating a player for trying to stay at the club, for trying to be on the pitch. You said this was calculated by him and his agent. Calculated? If somebody is calculating something with his agent, it's to leave the club. This guy is not trying to leave the club. I don't know what, like, this whole interview was just head loss. Just complete head loss. He said Salah said he was thrown under the bus. Abi? Bros, is it not factually correct that Salah was thrown under the bus? I said it earlier in the video. Obviously, Salah has been playing bad. But Salah is not the only person that has been playing bad this season. A lot of these players have been playing bad. And Salah felt like he was thrown under the bus, which is fully within his rights, Jesus. Which is fully within his rights to feel like that. That's not the problem. So what is the point you are driving out? Still moving on to the next one. He said Salah talks about playing behind Salah for 8 years. Bro, what are you even talking about? Notoriously one of the worst defenders, even though he's an elite footballer, he's one of the worst right backs defensively. But somehow that guy made it work for those 8 years. That guy seemed to make it work. But you're talking about imagine playing behind him. If Trent Alexander-Arnold could play behind Mo Salah for 8 years and there were no major problems, I don't see a point in what you are talking about. Talking about Salah. There are clips all over social media right now of Salah tracking back, of Salah defending. But because Salah has not been defending over the past 2 years, you are using that as a blanket over his whole career. And I've seen so many of these guys trying to erase the achievements of Mohamed Salah. You cannot erase the achievements of Mohamed Salah. It's all on tape. Everything is on video. You can go on YouTube and look at every single thing that Mohamed Salah has done for Liverpool. He said he was talking about himself. Salah is the one on the bench. Obviously, he's going to talk about himself. What do you want Salah to say? A player is ranting about being on the bench. You are complaining about being... Like, watch all the things that say. He has not made a single point so far. This is like 3-4 minutes into the video. He has not made a single point. Next, he talked about how Salah, now this is the one that went viral all over social media, talking about how Salah was known as the guy who failed at Chelsea. First of all, there is a reason why Salah was in the position to be bought by Chelsea. Carragher was never a wonder kid, so he probably doesn't know what it feels like to be a wonder kid. So, Salah was one of the most sought after young players in the world at that time when Chelsea bought him. In his first season in Basel, he scored, I think, let me check, he scored 10 goals and made 11 assists in his first season. He won the league with Basel, took them to the semi-final of the Europa League. The next season, he won back-to-back league titles with Basel, tormented Chelsea in the Champions League, and that is the precise reason why they went so hard for him and tried to buy him, because he was tormenting them in the Champions League. Who has Jamie Carragher ever tormented in his playing career, except when he got his pundit job and started talking shit about players that are 100 times better than him? I don't understand all this. Like, all the things that saying, there is not one single point. Talk about how Salah was wrong. Yeah, it was wrong. You should not have said that. But don't try to discredit him. Don't try to you try to erase a whole, like, how many years, like 8, 10 years of his career, just because he said something in the press. Like, come on. Come on, we have to be better than that. We have to be better than, you cannot just erase like somebody, half of somebody's whole life. And I saw the Wayne Rooney once where he was talking about how Salah should not have done that. If everybody is going to talk, it should not be Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney tried to force himself out of Manchester United twice. Tried to force himself to Manchester fucking City. Your bitter rivals, you try to force yourself there. And after all those transfer sagas, when you try to force yourself to Manchester City, you got the biggest contracts in Manchester United history. When you try to force yourself to Chelsea, you got the biggest contract in Manchester United history again. So I don't understand what he's talking about the player. You did the same thing, and then he said he has never talked about Salah, he has never criticized Salah. And immediately, I love the interviewer. Immediately, the host reminded him that just last week you were criticizing him. And he's like, no, brother, you were criticizing him. You've talked about Salah multiple times. Was it last year or the year before when Salah talked about you being obsessed with him? You've talked about Salah a lot. Let's not pretend. Let's not, like, come on. You've erased Salah's career. Now you're erasing your own words against him. Come on. And then the one that takes the cake for me was him talking about how Salah was throwing his club, throwing my club under the broski. That club is more of Salah's club than your club, and yet 10 times more Salah's club than your club. What do you mean your club? Salah is a much bigger Liverpool legend than Jamie Carragher. Who is Jamie Carragher? Talking about throwing my club on that. That was the funniest part. So be like, this guy overestimates his importance and he raises the importance of Mohamed Salah. It's fucking Mohamed Salah. Stop it. And then, like, every single point he tried to make, there was no points there. And then he ended on Salah should be helping the new player. Bro, did they sign a contract together? I never knew that when you sign a 150 million pound player, you need somebody to hold his hand on the pitch to play fucking football. Like, what is going through your head? When you sign a 150 million player, you should sign a babysitter with him to hold his hand and teach him how to score goals, to play balls to him so that like, come on. Florian Wirtz was brought in to come and create for Salah, but all of a sudden, it's Salah's fault that players like Florian Wirtz are not performing. I just wanted to rant about this because it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. And we are losing sight of the main issue. The main issue is this player is angry that he's not on the pitch. That is the main issue. Nobody gives a fuck about what happened with Salah in Chelsea or whatever. Stop it. Stop it. I just wanted to yap about it. Yeah. Thank you. So if you like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.